Huh? There. Oh. Huh? Durr. Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with Storm Shadow by ThreeZero, except this is the Camo exclusive version, and it is one hell of a figure. So as always, let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so diving right in, I have to say right off the bat, I'm impressed. It's pretty positive across the board of everything I've seen so far in this figure. Not that I'm going to be too biased in this review, and the only reason I say that is I am a massive G.I. Joe fan. I grew up on the old school toys, the rubber band, ball jointed, super articulated toys, the little 6-inch figures when I was a kid, all the way till now. It's a travesty what they've done with Storm Shadow on film, unfortunately, with all the garbage crap G.I. Joe films and the solo garbage crap Snake Eyes film. Nonetheless, this here is based off of comic, old school G.I. Joe versus the garbage crap films. So we're in luck. We have an amazing figure in front of us. It's obviously the second version, the first version being the non-exclusive that you don't have these camo arm pieces on here. Now, with that said, I was pretty disappointed that they kept the, the seamless rubberized suit arm underneath there and didn't go with just a jointed arm. Could have left a lot more flexibility as far as articulation. Can say that this here is about as far as I could get the angle on here without some spring back. If I push that up more due to the rubberized suit underneath, it will actually shoot this arm and spring it right back down. So disappointed that they didn't do that. It's pretty obvious why. Money reasons. You're just using the exact same frame and skeleton underneath and slapping some camo on the arms, but I would have to say it's a missed opportunity for sure. Now, it's kind of an odd time to get out of the way, but in the way of accessories, I do want to kind of say everything that he came with is in shot. The first shot that I had, the intro shot, you'll notice a stand. He did not come with a stand. Baffled. Probably not going to go on too long of a rant, but I know some people are a little more sympathetic. Oh, it's okay. He stands on his own, blah, 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 blah. All of my goddamn figures have a stand in my collection. We're talking hundreds of figures. Why would I have one without a stand? And why would I want him on a balancing act for the next 2 to possibly 10 years or more? So ThreeZero cheaping out on stands with your 6 scale figures. And I'm not even sure if their Walking Dead ones come with stands. My guess is they probably don't. Not sure why they're doing that. Their Transformers one come with stands. It's like the Transformers ones would stand easier than this thing. So it doesn't really make sense. So please, going forward, dear God, every company should come with a stand. This guy does not. But again, back to accessories. What you see is what you get. Except for these claws, there's 9 of them. Not sure why there's 9, unless there's something I'm missing. Or maybe they think you're going to break them. I understand 6. We have another hand that we can basically double claw and Wolverine this guy up with, but not sure what they came with 9, but hey, I'll take the extras. We do have 2 swords that come with it. Nothing crazy about the swords. They're just a plastic. I really was kind of disappointed, actually. Too bad they didn't do a die cast. I know they didn't do it on the Snake Eyes either, but again, just kind of disappointing-wise. But it doesn't look horrible. You have a decent mat to it, decent paint application, so 2 of those that do come with it. Yeah, I figured just turn them around right here. So again, this kind of big plastic piece that holds the swords and everything on the way back. You do have a bunch of arrows that come with it, an overwhelming amount, more than I could actually put in the quiver on his back here. So ton of arrows. We do have the bow here that comes with it. Again, everything's just super kind of plastic looking. Doesn't have any incredible amount of detail or anything. And as far as tailoring, headpiece, everything you see here, it's all pretty straightforward. They definitely did a great job on the head sculpt there. Just kind of, again, that classic Storm Shadow. You have a wire through the hood here, so if you want to add a little bit more of a dynamic pose there. I think the contrast is cool, between the suit, which is, it's a plastic look, but they did it well. The paint application and the slight weathering is decent to it. That goes to the cloth, back over here to the claws and stuff. It has some decent contrast. It is, interestingly enough, I'm bitching about diecast. There was a metal chain that came with his nunchucks, so it does come with the nunchucks here too. But yeah, metal chain. It's a little extra detail. And articulation wise, as I mentioned, there is some spring back here. So this is about as best as I can get the angle on it. If I do pull it up here, you'll see right away it pushes it back down. That's due to the rubberized suit underneath, and I don't want to destroy it, so I'll probably even keep it right about there. But yeah, we have the rubberized suit underneath. We do not have that on the legs. So fortunately, you can do some pretty decent posing on the legs, right down to the ankle joints and the feet there. I would say overall fantastic articulation from the waist down, decent from the waist up. All right, so just a quick side-by-side. I had to put these two guys together. They are incredible. Again, for the price point, ThreeZero's knocked it out of the park. I've seen that they've announced 3 other G.I. Joe figures. It's probably a dice roll whether we ever see them come to the light of day. However, I'm pretty excited what we have in front of us for the time being. One thing to note, I've kind of just seen as we're talking here, there's some hard stops on the cloth to plastic on this guy. You go to the arms, hard stop, cloth to the arms. Not that that's a bad thing, but they went next level on the snake eyes, and it's kind of like woven in intermittently throughout the suit. So you have patches of this really badass mesh that go to the plastic, back to some mesh, and at these kind of weird, cool, funky angles and stuff too. So, so all in, the snake eyes is one badass piece. Having these guys next to each other just elevates it. Obviously, they are the yin and the yang to one another, the black and the white. We have this amazing contrast to their, their long history. We just have a classic storyline that has been going on for years upon years, and I'm so excited to see what we come out with next. ThreeZero has done a fantastic job with these two, and let's start to wrap this guy up and slap a review on it. All right, so as we start to wrap this up and slap a score on this guy, let's add some final notes. A couple things that come to mind. The tailoring and the paint application to all the plastic pieces on here and what they've kind of pulled together is phenomenal. They've really done a good job. I would expect nothing less from ThreeZero. Everything that I have from them is really a stellar product. So again, this figure coming in, I expected almost what I had in front of me. But expectations were not only met, I think they're a little exceeded. I do like the camo version better than the seamless arm version. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't go with just jointed arms versus the seamless underneath. I think it would have made me feel a little bit more comfortable, posing him a little more dynamic, and then I would have gotten better dynamic poses out of it secondly. But I'm not going to fret too much about that. Another thing to note would be, which one's the best? Now, I think of 3 versions of this guy out there. I know there's a couple others. There's this weird robotic-looking version. Sideshow made a really crappy old version, which you can do him maskless. But I'm looking at these 3 versions, right? This one here, the Sideshow original camo version, and then the Hot Toys one from the garbage crap G.I. Joe movie. So you have those 3 versions out there. What are the best of the 3? I hate to say this, and people might skewer me. The Sideshow one is definitely the best of the 3. However, the body is the most inferior of the 3. But I think just visually, what it came with, I think the Sideshow one to date is still the best of the 3. This is going to be the runner-up. And then the Hot Toys Garbage Crap movie version is going to be number 3. So you do have those 3 versions out there. Now, as I rate the 3, they are very close to one another, and all 3 amazing. They're all high up there score-wise. So I'm not saying just because one's in front of the other that the others are crap. They're all fantastic versions. I just still think it goes Sideshow, ThreeZero, Hot Toys, Garbage Crap movie version. Back to the figure at hand. I'm really excited for it. Not too much negative to say about it. I think it's mostly positive. Price point, I think they're pushing it. However, I would still pay it again, and I think it's justified. Could they have gone a little bit lower? Yeah, really. For all I know, unless I'm crazy, I think all they did was slap some camo arms on him. Nonetheless, let's start to hone this into a score on this guy. In perfect timing, because the only thing I am noting and knocking on this guy, they could have added a little bit more detail to the weapons. It's almost like they were trying to go old school, like the actual plastic, very matte look, simple weapons that came with those 6-inch figures when we were kids. But the figure doesn't represent that. The figure has incredible detail and looks amazing. Had they added more detail to all the weapons, maybe a little touch on a die-cast sword, and added a stand to this guy, easily would have been in the 9s. But he fell a little bit short because of those things. It's nothing to prevent you from getting this guy. I actually still highly recommend it. It's just, I'm going to be brutally honest, as always. With that said, drum roll. That was the weirdest drum I've ever made in my life. I'm going to give him an 8.7 out of 10. I think if those things were weathered, die-cast sword, die-cast little metal Wolverine claws on there, and throw a stand in there, and then toss out the seamless arms, dare I say it would have been a 9.3 or higher. Would have been almost a flawless figure in the Gambit so-so category. Almost a flawless figure. So, again, with that said, very excited. 8.7 is high in my book. That is saying go out there and get this guy. It is a exclusive version. Based off the popularity of the other one, not sure if it's going to sell out and skyrocket in price because it's exclusive, perhaps. So nonetheless, go and grab them now if you want it. All these figures hold their value. And that's it for us here today at KC Toys. Storm Shadow. ThreeZero. Non-die-cast weapons. Non-weathered weapons.